or the night at this point. The Flash. Now, I've told y'all so many times. The Flash movie. We saw the trailer. Trailer looks good. Not even going front. Can't front that at all. Trailer looks good. Movie looks good. I've told y'all that I've been very nervous because you got people like James Gunn talking about this one of the best superhero movies of all time. You got other people, David Zaslav, this is the greatest super movie I've ever seen. I'm like, first of all, what all have y'all seen? Because I saw James Gunn's little top 5 list of movies that he loved, and I was like, I mean, that's an interesting list. That's not half of the movies. I wouldn't say he had Into the Spider-Verse up there, so I gave him that. But some of them other ones, I was like, those aren't the greatest of all time. Like, what are you talking about? But at the same time, I believe that the movie is really good. But I haven't heard very many people say negative things about it, so I do believe it's very good. At the same time, I also know that the bar for DC is very low. It's super, super low. Like, let's not forget, they've been doing mediocre and underperforming movies for almost 10 years now. Now, we've had some exceptions, of course. Wonder Woman, Aquaman. We've had some movies like kind of break through, but for the vast majority, they're not doing what they need to do or living up to their potential. So, with that said, there was a lot of talk that the Flash movie was going to be really good, and it was something that, was going to help. But then came Ezra Miller. And Ezra Miller, as I've covered extensively, has been problematic, is saying it lightly. That's literally putting it lightly for the issues brought about by Ezra Miller. I don't have enough time to talk about the litany of issues that Ezra Miller has brought on. I have plenty of videos that go through all of them, and you can go through those if you really want. And before anybody comes on here, because for whatever reason, Ezra has been getting like all this defense and stuff from random people online. They're like, Ezra hasn't been charged. Nothing's happened. Ezra didn't do anything wrong. Let me remind y'all. Okay, let me just remind y'all, just quick, because I don't have time for all of them. March 2022, Ezra was arrested and charged with the harassment and disorderly conduct. April of 2022, Ezra was arrested for assault. June 2022, couldn't even let the months go by. Court issued a harassment prevention order, a restraining order on behalf of a 12-year-old. August of 2022, Ezra Miller was charged with burglary. January of 2023, Ezra pled guilty to unlawful trespass. And those are just the things on paper. These are irrefutable. These are things that happen. These are not things that are just accusations, speculation, rumors, or whatever. No, this is the stuff that actually happened with Ezra Miller. I didn't even get to the accusations of child or minor grooming. I didn't get to the other allegations of child endangerment, letting a 1, 2, 3-year-old walk around with a bullet in their mouth and guns and drugs and stuff all around. I didn't even get to the other allegations of Ezra supposedly leading a cult, potentially grooming minors, and allegedly using the Flash persona to groom these people in this case and lead people. I didn't get to all of that because all of that is unresolved. And it's not just one restraining order. There were 2 restraining orders. One of them got dropped conveniently, but whatever. Either way, Ezra has been a problem. And we talked about, like, what is Warner Brothers going to do? Like, what can they do? You got your lead star of this movie out here acting a fool, being an international and domestic terrorist at the same time, going into Iceland and going into Hawaii and just being a whole problem. What are you going to do? How do you sell a movie about a superhero when your lead star is acting like a whole criminal villain? How? So we talked about how, maybe they'll shelve the movie, but then again, they paid a lot of money. That money was already in the bank. It was done. Ezra came and shot a couple shoots here and there, but they paid for it. But then again, you don't know what's going to happen with Ezra. Y'all remember the time that there was a warrant out for Ezra, or the police were looking for Ezra, and Ezra sat there and posted, "You can't find me, I'm in the Speed Force," or whatever crazy nonsense they posted? Like, this is what you playing with? So the thing that kind of bothered me with this situation was that in most cases, you would sit here and think, when your lead star is a problem, when they're accused of something or whatever, you got to drop that actor. You got to move on. You got to do something. And there was some, I thought Warner Brothers would have done something about it, but they kept quiet. But that's not what surprised me. What surprised me more was what was just acknowledged recently. And that was the Flash producer says that the Flash movie was never at risk of being shelved due to Ezra Miller's history. They go on to say here, when asked if there was a legitimate fear of the movie being canceled, Muschietti said, "Not at all, no. That was never real." Never? Ever? Never ever? Now, let me fully acknowledge that I understand. Like I said before, they paid for this movie already. You're not going to waste $200-300 million, and just scrap it, especially if the movie's good, right? And you don't want to punish all the other people. I mean, Ezra is one person. You don't want to punish Michael Keaton or Sasha, whoever's playing the Supergirl. You don't want to punish all these other people because of one person like that. That's a lot of hard work. That's a lot of money being wasted. I get that. I totally get that. The issue that I have is y'all didn't even think about it. Y'all didn't even put it on the table. Your lead star is terrorizing people, assaulting people, trespassing on other people's property, stealing from other people, being a whole villain in real life. And y'all never thought about it? Y'all never said, it was never real that y'all was like, ooh, maybe we should stop. I'm not saying y'all should have made that the final decision, because I understand the business of it. I do. But y'all never thought about it? The problem I have with that is that I think that also speaks loudly about where you draw your moral lines. I mean, my question is, what would it have taken? What if Ezra killed somebody? Ezra raped someone? Like, is that when it would register? Like, maybe we can't. Like, I'm just curious what would have made it real for them to consider this is too much. Because multiple arrests, multiple charges, literally a plea of guilty. Where is the line? So I'm just curious about that. That's all. I was really taken back that they just said, nah, it was never even a thing. We didn't even think about it. Golly. I don't know. What do y'all think about the fact that they never thought about canceling the Flash? Do you think they at least should have considered it? Do you think that the business made too much sense? It makes too much money. You got to keep it going. I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments. But we gonna end off with this last one. And unfortunately, it's still about Ezra. Because for whatever reason, there has been an odd, strange defense of Ezra Miller that continues to go on. And I've told you guys before, the litany of issues with Ezra Miller perplexes me as to why anybody would come to their defense. And at the same time, I'm also wondering, because I've said this before. I was like, obviously y'all are gonna move forward with the movie. Cool, the movie is great. All right, that's wonderful. But you're also going to have to promote the movie. Now, clearly, y'all not gonna put Ezra on the press tour, and so far, Ezra's done zero press because Ezra has been in rehab. What that means, I don't know. But the issue that's been happening is we've been seeing a lot of defense for Ezra. Now, not too long ago, we talked about Michael Shannon. Michael Shannon, co-star, he plays Zod. He was saying that, like, he feels for Ezra because the public is, getting on Ezra and all that. And I'm like, so usually when you do bad things, society pushes back. And Michael Shannon also acknowledged that he didn't know what he was talking about because he wasn't all that informed on the situation. So I do wonder if Michael Shannon's opinion would change once he hears the child grooming or mild groomer or grooming of minors and the assault and the trespassing and all the lit. Like, again, what's your line, sir? But I think probably one of the most ridiculous things that have been said so far have come from the director of the movie, Andy Muschietti. Now, again, you can take this for what it is, but apparently, when asked about these things during the press tour, I've said for the longest, just don't say nothing. Don't bring up Ezra. It's not important. But Andy feels different. And Andy went ahead and said that no one else can replace Ezra Miller if there's a sequel. No one else. Let's go to what Andy actually said. If a sequel happens, yes, Andy Muschietti said about Miller returning for another Flash film. I don't think there's anyone that can play that character as well as they did. The other depictions of the character are great, but this particular vision of the character, they just excelled in doing it. And yeah, and as you said, the two berries, it feels like a character that was made for them. Then Barbara, who is also a producer, says, in principal photography, Ezra was brilliant and the most committed and the most professional actor. Ezra gave everything for this role, physically, creatively, emotionally. They were absolutely supreme. Here's my problem. Everything you're hearing right now, I believe all the defenses for Ezra Miller right now, especially from Andy, from anyone at this case, is completely unwarranted. And the reason why I say it's unwarranted is because we've seen nothing. Nothing has really came about to warrant this pre-defense. Matter of fact, I feel as though this pre-defense is the manifestation of literal privilege. That's all I can say. That's what this looks like. It is the literal manifestation of what privilege in action. Because it has to take a certain level of privilege for someone to do so many heinous things. And again, I'm not even going to list the stuff. You could take the accusations out of there, right? I'm talking about the arrests, the assaults, the guilty pleas. I'm talking about the things that are hardcore actually happened with Ezra Miller. So miss me with all the Ezra didn't do nothing nonsense. Miss me with that. And matter of fact, that's another manifestation of the privilege too. To sit here and have that cognitive dissonance to act like Ezra didn't do nothing and Ezra's just being railroaded. Miss me with that too. But the reason why I say that this is privilege is because Ezra not only pleaded guilty to doing bad things, but Ezra's in recovery. Do y'all know if the recovery even worked? Like, Ezra's still in the oven cooking, still baking. But y'all are out here saying that cake is delicious. Y'all are out here saying this thing is going to be the best food ever. It ain't even turned brown yet. The heat in the oven ain't even on yet. What are you talking about? What is that? What? Like, the yeast hasn't even rised yet. Like, what are you? How are you defending Ezra? And Ezra hasn't even said anything. Ezra only issued a statement through a rep, some generic apology. I'm sorry for my actions. Blah, blah. We have seen no actual accountability because, again, I don't know what this rehab is. I don't know if it's just a vacation. I don't know if Ezra is like actually getting help. I don't know what any of that means. I hope Ezra is actually getting help. I really do, because I believe Ezra deserves to be helped as much and get whatever help Ezra needs for the mental illness. I get that. But at the same time, this pre-caping for Ezra, this pre-defense of Ezra is ridiculous and unnecessary. Now, if you want to sit here and say, you know, Ezra was great on screen, Ezra did a great job in the movie, that's fine. I have no problem with that. But to sit here and fix your mouth and to say nobody else can play this but Ezra, stop it. Because now you just gaslighting. Stop it. It's unnecessary. What have I been saying? Stop talking about Ezra. Promote your movie. It's literally that easy. Why do y'all like mess? I don't understand the culture that breeds in WB and now DC Studios. Y'all just love mess. Everything attached to Ezra is going to be connected to mess until Ezra comes back and maybe cleans up their act, comes back a changed person, and you know what I'm saying? Like, has some contrition, takes accountability. Until that happens, Ezra either needs to not be talked about or just, you know, or leave it alone. I don't understand why you have to go above and beyond out of your way to defend and to uplift Ezra Miller. Because, again, what if the rehab doesn't work? What if Ezra comes back and terrorizes another country or another state? What if Ezra looks at the help that, you know, supposedly they were supposed to get and they came out worse? How are your words going to age at that point? This is why I keep talking about Ezra Miller is not worth all of this defense. Let Ezra help Ezra. If Ezra's already in rehab and getting help, guess what? When Ezra comes back, now let Ezra do the work. You can support Ezra if you like, and you can be like, yo, Ezra, you came back. I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to let you do this. Okay, that's fine. We all believe in second chances. I'm not going to sit here and be one of those people that want to forever punish Ezra Miller. I will hold Ezra Miller accountable for their actions, however. And until there's a change in the pattern of behavior, until there's a sense of accountability and contrition and true repentance from those actions, we being on that neck all day. We applying pressure all day. Because if you just going to sit here and do the same, and you still getting all this access and stuff, meanwhile, you got other actors and other people in the same profession getting lit up for less. Johnny Depp, Jonathan Majors. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. So this whole idea that can't nobody else play him, but like, stop. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I don't care if this movie make $1 billion. Ezra Miller don't need to come back Again, until things change, Ezra needs to have a huge 180. But if that does not happen, which I don't expect it to, that ain't gonna happen overnight. Nah, we don't need Ezra Miller. For what? And then on top of that, again, what you gonna do if them minor allegations prove out to be true? What you gonna do if another victim moves forward and presses charges? What you gonna do if another lawsuit comes out of nowhere? You really want to hit your wagon on the Ezra Miller? That, like, for real? Now, it could also be possible that Andy's just talking. It could be possible that Andy knows ain't gonna be another Flash sequel. Could be possible that Andy knows that they're gonna drop everything in another universe and it's just gonna stay there. And maybe Ezra's already been recast. Maybe. I don't know. Even if those things are true, you don't have to come out and say these things. It's not helpful. It's just not. Because for the people that are not rocking with Ezra right now, the people that feel some type of way about somebody that just literally gets away with like all these heinous things when others would not, it's gaslighting. And it's unnecessary. Promote your movie. Man, we got Michael Keaton. Yo, we got all these things happening. Yo, Batman's going to do this. Man, the movie's great. Go see it. Get your tickets now. You see how you could promote without even mentioning Ezra? You can do that. It's possible. Anyway, y'all let me know what you think about the director's commentary. Let me know how you feel. Yeah. Let me know in the comments down below.